What's going on, everybody? This is Sean Turconi with Resume CEO, where I talk about everything related to career as well as productivity. I have a master's degree in industrial organizational psychology. I'm a certified professional human resources. I have over 10, 12 years of human resources, recruiting, and sales experience underneath my belt. What I'd like to do, along with that, I'm a certified professional resume writer, certified professional career coach, and a trained interview coach as well. One of the things that I wanted to do with this channel was start a conversation with you and ask you specifically what you would want to hear discussed. I will speak specifically to you. If you put your questions down in the comments, I'll answer just about pretty much everything that you would have related to career, resumes, career coaching, job switching, getting into different jobs, perhaps even schooling, as well as productivity. I'm very into productivity, using technology for productivity. So today I'd like to talk about the problem. As you know, that this channel is basically mostly about people who are trying to be productive with attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So I am one of those people. I can sympathize with you. I've been through it. I'm still going through it, where you have those train wreck situations that happen in your life. So what's the problem that we tend to have as people who have attention deficit issues? So the problem is that our lives turn into hot messes. We know that for a lot of us, we're probably, humanly speaking, we're probably decently good people. We're not going out murdering people. We're not just completely strung out on drugs, although I know that is a thing with people who have ADD. But for the most part, a lot of people who have ADD are decent people who are just struggling seriously with being able to prioritize, being able to stay productive, keeping jobs, getting through school, and that's what it is, right? It's getting through school, unlike a lot of our peers who were excelling in school so that they can get those better internships, rub elbows with the right people, get those higher paying jobs at kind of more prestigious companies. So in the end, it does have this kind of cascading effect for us, where we kind of just get left in the dust. And the problem is that I thought that when I was diagnosed with ADD, that I would eventually grow out of it or something like that, and that never happened. I've been on so many different medications for my ADD. It's disturbing, especially a lot of the side effects. I had a lot of cardiac side effects. My heart would just start exploding, and I'm a very decently healthy guy. I won't tell you my age right now. I'm a young 39. So I'm 30. I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm still dealing with this. I don't do drugs, so that's not my problem. I don't have kind of these gross immoral behavioral issues. I'm not getting in fights. I don't have anger problems. I don't have, these kind of classic bad guy, bad girl issues. I really just have what would be called executive functioning issues. I have, like I told you in the beginning, I have a lot of education, so you'd think I'm a smart guy, but the thing is it's in there. It's almost like spaghetti, in terms of trying to create ideas. It's just like a pile of spaghetti, just noodles going in and out, weaving, sometimes there's a meatball, yada, yada, yada. But, for other people, things just seem to be very straightforward. Even people, I mean, I've been in situations a million times where I had people that didn't even graduate from high school, and I'm sitting there looking like an idiot because I can't pull my thoughts together. I can't like string together kind of like a logical thought pattern. Um, and for me, for my whole life, it's like, well, it's my fault. I did this. I'm stupid. I'm dumb. I must be, I don't know. Like what's wrong with me? And the thing is, you can be born with many different disorders, that are clearly visible. Some people are born where they can't walk, can't see, can't speak, cleft palate. It's visible. You can see it. So like people kind of, they give you that pass. But when you have ADD, it's definitely not taken that way by society. So for excuse me, for us, it's very kind of like suffocating because it feels like everybody's looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you hold a job? Why do you keep dropping classes? Why are you wasting your time? Like, why do you keep getting into arguments with your boss? Why do you keep getting into arguments with your coworkers? Why do you tend to be more of a follower, not a leader in your younger peer groups? Why are you weird in kind of social conversations, for some of us? So this is the problem that I think, a lot of us can identify with. And just to let you know up front, I do not have a hyperactive problem. I have an inattentive problem. So predominantly inattentive, ADHD predominantly inattentive, or ADD predominantly inattentive, PI. For me, unless I'm taking some kind of stimulant, it's just like I'm, like I'm stoned, like I've been smoking weed all day long and for years. That's what I'm generally like, unless I'm just pounding coffee or Adderall all day. Otherwise, I just look like a bump on a log. So I want you to know that this channel, I have a very optimistic view of life. I'm going to share that with you slowly over time. I want you to know that this isn't just going to be a bunch of us getting together saying, oh, woe is me, and look at how bad our lives are, and oh, this stinks. But I did want to identify the problem that we all face. And then the second thing, we all have the stupid band-aid kind of comments, that we'll get from either ourselves sometimes, or we'll get from others that maybe care about us, that love us, people in our family, friends, teachers, coworkers, managers. Well, why don't you just get organized, and why don't you just do you ever try getting a planner? Or you should really focus more, concentrate on focusing. And I know most of these people mean well, but they don't know that it's not the same. It's different. It's like telling somebody who was born with a crooked leg, well, why don't you just run just as fast as everybody else in your class? What's wrong with you, in gym class or something? Why can't you take that crooked leg and run, just as fast as everybody else? It's just try harder, and you could try and try and try and try, and it will be beating your head against the wall unless you have actual solutions that are real, that are proven, that have been tried, that you are motivated to stick with. Because again, good advice coming from people who don't have ADD or don't understand it, I kind of take it with a grain of salt, try not to take it, as like an insult, but realize they don't know what it's like for us. So what we're going to talk about in this channel, we are going to have discussions. Your comment below, and we will have discussions through video, through the comments, through the replies, about solutions that work. And I'm going to be here to help you get through your career, your education, your, all of your trials and tribulations, and all the kind of emotional baggage that comes along with this, and I do know, and I can speak from experience that, with ADD comes impulsivity usually. So a lot of us have probably done a lot of stupid things that we, have done in our lives, maybe perhaps repeatedly, where we feel like we're less than, why would we do this? And it seems like other people don't do these type of things. And, what's wrong with me? So I want to be here for you as somebody who can be, for some of you, it'll be like a mentor. For some of you, you might be mentoring me. So I might be in that kind of middle world where I'm not quite old enough to be the wise gray-haired person who's been through it all, but I've been through enough. I'm married. I have 2 young children, and so I have my own business. I've gone through the whole mill of, like I said, medications, therapists, counselors, spiritual advisors, all of that type of stuff. And there were some things that were very effective, and there were some things that were just a complete waste of my time, for me, and what I'd like to hear from you is what helped you out the most. How can we collaborate as a community here? It's the name is Resume CEO. Mainly what I think what most of us have a fear of is being successful in life, predominantly in career and education. And so Resume CEO is kind of like the slant I take on that, and the name I like to give to that. So, but again, this is going to be about career, education, productivity, technology, and kind of almost a therapeutic, cathartic discussion. A lot of videos that I'm going to come out, try to do on a weekly basis for y'all, to give you tips and tricks, practical things that you can do. So what I'm going to start doing from this video is giving you one practical, actionable step, starting at ground level, to add to your tool bag that you just keep in there. And then when you watch the next video, you add that next thing on. And when you watch the next video, you add that next thing on. And we'll just keep reviewing and building and reviewing and building. And by the time, we kind of come out the other side of this, you're going to be more successful. There's no way, it's not possible that you would be able to put these things into action, and be worse off for it. So my hope for all of you and myself as well is that we will grow from where we are, not from where the best person in our group is, but from where we are individually. So if you're at like out of 0 out of 100, you're at a 10, when you get to a 40 because of watching these videos, then that's success. Amen. If you're one of those people that you have ADD and you pretty much kind of got it together, or your ADD isn't really a super struggle for you, but it does like hinder you somewhat, and you're at like an 80 and you're getting to like a 90, 95, something like that, then excellent. Amen. And I pray for that for all of you, that you get that increase. So I'm going to try to make these videos be progressively better over time, more appealing. So I'm basically starting from scratch here, and I promise you that they will just get better and better, and more informative and more practical. And we will review, so it's not just going to be like you forgot something and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about anymore or what you're referring to. So So I'm in your head, for a lot of you. So I know what it's like. So I'm going to make sure I'm reviewing as well. So definitely subscribe to the channel down below. If you like this video, definitely please like it, because that tells me to keep going in that direction. Comment down below. Let me know, hey, I really liked that you were talking about this, that really spoke to me. Or, you heard something that, I wish you would have elaborated more on this. Or why didn't you bring up this? Because that would have been really good. Or do you have any experience in this? Put that in the comments, because I will actually create videos based on that. And I will reference you as much as I possibly can, if you'd like, where, I'm going to talk about how, Jane Smith 2350 asked this question. And, I love reading. I do a lot of reading, although I can't sometimes formulate it all that back to people that well. But I can if I have preparatory time, for like making videos like this. So this will be very heavily researched. I already have a lot of head knowledge that I could just right now, but I want you to know that we're in this together, and I'm here for you. And if you ever have any questions, or especially if you're like really struggling, and things aren't going too well for you, just hit me up, and I'd be happy to have a discussion with you as much as that's feasibly possible with my time, your time. So that's pretty much all that I have. So down below, I'm gonna put a link for you. I know a lot of you probably have a iPhone, or you have an Android, or you have an iPad or a tablet or something, anything like this, computer. I want you to do this. Download and install Todoist. So it's basically like a reminders or task app, but download that right now. There's a free version of it. Just go down there, click the link, download this now. We need this for this. Basically, it's almost going to be like a course. We need this to move forward. You need this to move forward. It's not just your standard task app. Trust me. If you don't already use it and you don't know about it, you're going to be in for a surprise, because you're gonna see it at first, and as we start talking about it, you're gonna be like, this is too much. Trust me. Just stick with the process. If any of you have ever been in like AA or NA or Alcoholics Anonymous or Celebrate Recovery or any of these type of things, stick with the process. And if you've ever been in anything else where you were trying to do this process of whatever it is, you're trying to walk down this road that just seemed like it wasn't meant for you at all, and you were just stumbling and struggling everywhere and falling on your face and setbacks and but you stuck with it, and then you found out, you popped out the other side of that, and you're like, man, I'm so glad that I did this and that I stuck through, even when I looked like a complete idiot, only last year or whatever. I encourage you to stick with it and know that I am with you. Know that God is with you, and that you're not alone, and that we have a community here of people who are very like-minded. And my hope is that we can love each other, we can encourage each other, perhaps even hold each other accountable. If you just, I guess, side note, before I let you go, if you have any kind of issues where you feel like you're going to harm yourself or others because things are just getting so bad, I strongly encourage you to seek help, medical help. Tell somebody, talk to somebody, talk to a doctor, psychiatrist, counselor. I am not a counselor, so there's no, the whole legal mumbo jumbo with that. So I'm not going to be held accountable for whatever you do. and this is not medical advice. So that's pretty much all I have for this week, and look forward to seeing your comments. Again, down in the description, you'll see the link for the Todoist app. Just go ahead and click on that link and get that going. If I were you, just between you and I, as one ADDer to another, don't start adding crazy amounts of things to it and clicking around and da 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 da. Just don't. Just leave it. Just leave it. You know, I know, and you know what that's going to turn into. Your good intentions of trying to be organized are going to go. So just download it. If you want to read up on it, sure, but I would encourage you not to dive into it and immediately start trying to just set up all these different things, because it's only going to make things way more difficult. So, all right. So I wish you all a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.